What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kashino, and we are here today to talk about we're here to talk about the remake. I honestly didn't think I was gonna make this video, but then I decided, after doing some research, after looking into some stuff, and you know what, I figured I might want to do a little bit touch on it, just to put my 2 cents in the pool, you know, out there. So as you guys know, Diamond and Pearl remake just came out. Now there's a couple of stuff that I just wanted to touch on, which I find, you know, there's some good stuff, there's some good stuff, and there's some bad, obviously. So I think that let's start off with, I like to go back and forth, mix it up, good and bad. One of the things, obviously the game looked good, right? So if you look at it from what it was before, obviously when it was first came out, I think on the DS, the Nintendo DS, and now it is on the, I was about to say the 3DS, it's on the Switch. It looks good. You know, they didn't do what I'm always hoping, you know, eventually, but these are some things that they don't do in Pokemon, which are like the full animations. Like some of the animations are pretty good, you know, and others are just not as good. You're like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm really hoping for, like, in the future that they will change some of that stuff. Like, for example, we have Pokemon trying different things. Like in Arceus, they have Unite, they have different things. Well, I know Arceus is kind of similar to the regular Pokemon series, but you know, Let's Go, all this other stuff. They have different forms of Pokemon games, so you could play it in different ways. But are you guys, and this is going to be one of my first questions, do you guys want them to introduce this to the main game, some stuff from the other games into the main game? Now, one of the things that I wanted to pose as a suggestion, I guess it would be, is if the game went into more of a Unite, I guess Pokken, I forgot to mention that one as well too, where pretty much the Pokemon has a set moves. Or if we saw, technically in Unite, they kind of showed that a Pokemon could have a rotating set of moves. So you can have they have, like, let's say the Pikachu model, right? And then that Pikachu has a certain set of moves, and then you could switch it on the fly. So they show that there's technology able to do that. Like, literally, you can have a Pokemon and then have it learn different moves. I just want to kind of get away from the stagnant, you know, thing just kind of sitting there and then attacking. And that's kind of like the same thing that Final Fantasy did, where it went from turn-based kind of into a more real life thing, you know, action RPG kind of thing. Now, the reason why I want them to do it here, it doesn't actually, it could still be turn-based, I don't mind that, but I do think that they could start stepping it up, you know, just because I'm in my 30s, and I think, you know, I've been playing this game, series for a long time, and I think that the kitty cartoony thing is, not that it will run out, because obviously they can keep recycling that for the, you know, my kids and their kids, and they can keep it as this fun kitty kind of game. But I do think that I really want them to kind of angle towards the competitive sides, and they have been, and they've definitely been doing things that make that more of a easier thing to get to competitive Pokemon and to really utilize them. I actually heard from a coworker that this game, you can actually you could do a run, I think a full gym run, and then after you beat the game, you can also do another gym run where they actually have their Pokemon trained up properly. Like when you go to the battle tower, don't ask me what generation the battle tower is, but you could actually do a more difficult run. This game also doesn't have the quality of life of difficulty sliders, which I was just talking about in the Rune King, where they have difficulty sliders. You can adjust the playthrough to make the game as difficult as you want it. Now, what most people do in Pokemon games, I'm actually looking at one on the side here. I was trying to look and see as much research, trying to like get a grip of things that the game, because I personally don't like buying remakes. I don't do it. I don't like the aspect of it. And not that I don't buy remakes in general, I don't buy Pokemon remakes. I'm gonna actually do a comparison to Demon Souls in a little bit. So in order to do like difficulty in Pokemon, what they usually do is like a Nuzlocke. I think that's the technical term for it, where you kind of put like restrictions on your gameplay. Like you can't catch a certain amount of stuff, you have to catch this, or you can catch like what is it, like per level. Like, I know that there's different types of ways of doing it, but that's the way you can do it. It'd be nice if you can even put that into this game. Like you can actually make that like, oh, do you want to do this as a Nuzlocke, similar to an XCOM, where you could be like, hey, do you want to do an Iron Man where you can't save, so every move counts, like stuff like that. I feel like that would have been something cool to add into the game and show that they kind of understand how people are playing the game. And that's where I'm going to go with the next point, is that there are some things that were cool, you know, that I like in this game, that they updated to kind of like really like enhance the experience, right? So like walking around with your Pokemon is something that, you know, that they've started adding into the Pokemon series. You could do it in this game as well too. The underground segments of this game, like where you can go underground, where you can have a little hideout, you know, in a cave, and like all the stuff looks way better because of the upgraded graphics. Cool. But like something is functional as the TM system. Now the TM system, if you guys don't know, means technical machine. It's what they have in these games where you teach a Pokemon a move. Now in the beginning, when it first started, they were numerical, like, not numerical, but they were quantity based. So you would have, especially when you beat a gym, the gym leader would give you a TM and you only had one because you could only beat that gym once. So if you ever wanted to get another TM, you couldn't really in the older games. So then they actually changed it so that it became like you have TM 52 and you could teach it. And then in Sword and Shield, they did it that there was a ton of them that were under that same restriction, that most of them you can get, you know, you could teach as many times as you want, but there were specific ones that you had to farm in the dens, right? So now this game comes out and it went back to the old system. So I find that, like, I guess I understand that you want to make it back to what it was because that's what a remake is. But like even in Demon Souls, there was a lot of stuff, there was a lot of jank in the first Demon Souls when it first came out, and they didn't keep everything. They kept like the enemies' positions, right? They kept the enemies' positions. They kept, you know, their move sets of the bosses and stuff like that. They didn't just like randomly add certain stuff. A lot of people thought that they were gonna like add something in Demon Souls, like there was this hidden archstone that you never got to go to. They thought that, oh, they'll probably put that in the remake. No, they didn't add too much crazy stuff because it's supposed to be true to the original. But they did do certain stuff as far as like inventory management and things like that. They did change because in the previous games, or sorry, not the previous, but as they kept making more games, FromSoft started making more games, there were certain stuff that was just like, well, this is just a better way of doing things. Like I think one of the things that I would like to speak on would be like the shard system. Like before you had to, I think in the first Demon Souls, you had to literally take a shard. If you wanted to bring it to if you wanted to use it to upgrade, you have to like take it out of your inventory, then go to the blacksmith and then utilize it. But then later on, they actually had it that as long as you had gotten it at one point in time, that you just that you like you always have it with you, so you don't have to bring it with you. It's even if it's in your inventory, that could still be used when you're trying to upgrade. And I feel like that should have been the same thing for here for the TM system. I found that very weird when I saw that there's still like you have a certain quantity of them, and it's just like the newer way of the TM just being a item that you can constantly use over and over again. I felt like was just a better way of going. But that's just one of the gripes. As far as like everything else, I think that the game looks fine. I mean, like it's hard to mess up a remake of a classic game, and most of the original gen games, what I mean, like obviously like Diamond and Pearl, they do well. It's not like it's gonna be like some, unless you do something drastic, which I guess that's why you play it safe, you're gonna do well. The game looks fine. I like the I like the little, I like a lot of stuff into it. I just don't like paying for Pokemon remakes because I feel like this amount of effort and work could have went into a different title. Now, like I said, they have the Unite, they have I was about to say Awakening, right? They have Arceus, and I feel like, oh, that's cool, because even Arceus, even though it's pretty much the same game, it's a Generations game, it's gonna have new stuff. You always gotta get acclimated with the new stuff is gonna be. But I feel like at least, you know, they're adding different stuff, different gameplay mechanics and things like that. So when they do a remake, it's usually they're not adding too much to the game. It's usually the same one. One of my other coworkers made a good point. It allows you to then play this on a more older game on a more up-to-date console. So like since this was I said what, the Nintendo DS, like you'd have to get a Nintendo DS to live and play out this game. But now with the most current thing, which you most likely will have if you're keeping up with the game, you can get this game and play it literally in the way that it was meant to be played on the Switch. And also to go back to that, I like, not to play devil's advocate, but even in Demon Souls, there was one system that they had was like the weight system. They did keep that in the game, even though Dark Souls Further, they didn't have that. They didn't have that you had the weight, the way that your weapons break in Demon Souls. They did not keep that up for the rest of the Souls games. But when you play the game again, when they did the remake, that they kept that system in it because it was original to the game. And I guess that you could make that argument for the TM system in here. So, you know, I'm not saying that they couldn't have done that. I think it just would, certain quality of life stuff I think would have been appreciated to keep that. Also, when they do these games, usually they keep the original roster, the original Pokédex, and things. I would have hoped or preferred that they kind of like said, screw that. You can import your stuff possibly after the game, like you beat the game and then it unlocks it, like lifts a ban or something like that, and then you can kind of go ham and bring all your other stuff and then play everything on the most up-to-date, the most recent, you know, Pokemon game, and then you can be competitive. Because the fact that the most recent gen game that they launched was Sword and Shield, you still would have to play that one, which is the most current one, or else people are gonna play this old one. It just makes it too much. But that's kind of what they've always done, is just have multiple games, and then they'll do Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl 2, and then you have to get that one if you want to keep it competitive. It's kind of like the EA thing. You just got to keep buying every single thing, and it's just it leaves a bad taste in my mouth specifically. That's why I really like to support the newer ventures, like I said, Unite, the Arceus. But I'll be curious of what you guys think about this. Like I said, if you look at it from the update, the remake, it is a proper remake. You know, some of the animations are upgraded, but a lot of them seem like they're still from Sword and Shield, the last, you know, like I said, the last mainstream game. So I can't give it too much credit, but it does look good. It looks good. It also took the style. There was definitely, you couldn't customize your character in the DS version, but now you can. So they added that from the newer games of customizing the way your character looks. That's a newer feature. So what do you guys think about this remake? If you're playing it, or if you decided not to get it, or if you're going to get it, maybe you're waiting for Black Friday or Christmas or something like that. YFOs in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the remakes for Diamond and Pearl. They're now out, and like I said, like I'm watching, like I said, on the side, and I'm looking at it like, oh, you know, it's cool that they have like little close-ups. I've noticed that for certain attacks, because they still haven't really done, and it's sad because Temtem, I think, had like slightly better animations as far as like the Pokemon, if it's a punch attack, the Pokemon going over and then punching them instead of it being like a fist icon. You know, like, because this game is all about battling. It's all about battling. I think this is the game where they actually do the beauty contest and stuff like that, which, cool, I would have liked to see that too. Like, really push the envelope and really showcase it, because everything else about the game by design is very basic. You know, it's meant to be basic. It's not supposed to be complicated. It's a Pokemon game, but I would still like to have some more intricacies, more quality of life for the remake and for everything else. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much, because we all know what's going to happen. The next generation is going to come, obviously, and then we're going to be like, oh, it looks just like the Diamond and Pearl remake, or will they actually improve and do something different? I don't know, because if they can sell a lot on remakes and kind of keep rehashing the same formula, they won't have to change it for too much. And I kind of want them to change it. I kind of want them to do something crazy that will make people, especially that have been following the series for a long time, and they're like, yo, this game is crazy. But they know that we like the, you know, they like the itch, the nostalgia bonus. They know that we like to relive games and the same one. And I honestly don't remember most stuff from Diamond and Pearl. I don't remember the villains, or, you know, the cause. This game kind of Palkia, and I forgot the name of this one. I always forget his name, because I had the Pearl. I had the other one. I don't know what they do. Don't know what they do. Don't remember the story. So for me, it would have actually been a decent experience to relive all this stuff, but I just don't care enough. I'm a competitive player. Like, I just want to raise Pokemon, fight, and do it in a game where everyone is going to be doing it. But I know that not everyone buys the remake, so I just can't even fathom. But I'll be in the next gen, and I'll definitely will be playing Arceus. Are you guys playing, like I said, are you guys going to be playing any of these games? This one, Arceus? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the video, and just remember that every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.